I'm with the head coach of the West Indies women, Shane Deitz. Shane, great to sit down with you. Just under 2 years that you've been in the post. Can you tell us a bit about who is Shane Deitz, a bit about your background and your reflection?
Yeah, right, great to see you again, Alex, and good to have a chat. Yeah, I'm obviously Australian by the accent, but played cricket for South Australia, first-class cricket, for a decade or so, and then lucky enough moved into coaching straight away, where I went to New Zealand and worked with New Zealand cricket in their high-performance program, and New Zealand under-19s, New Zealand A, and first-class cricket for Wellington. From there, Bangladesh women's team was my first women's coaching experience, and then from there, various different places, and now I'm in the beautiful Barbados and work with the West Indies team, which has always been a dream of mine because, as a kid in Australia, the West Indies was everyone's favourite team. So to have this badge on, on my shirt is real privilege to be here.
Well, almost 2 years in, can you reflect and give me a sort of a general take on the experience so far?
Yeah, so at first it's sort of about finding out where the team is and where we sit amongst the world's best. And then my first series was against Australia. So that was a great chance to measure ourselves and where we need to go. And the reality was it's a long journey. It's going to take some time before we are consistently competing against those best teams. But we've beaten Australia, we've beaten India, we've beaten England in games, and we got to the World Cup semi-final, which was a great effort from the girls and the team, the coaching staff and everyone. So that was showing that we've got improvement and we are getting better, but we've got to do it consistent, and that's probably the name of the game. So that's where we're trying to get the team to be consistent, and that's going to take 15 to 20 world-class players. And at the moment, we're probably not quite there with that, but that's our job, to try to get those individuals to be world-class.
You mentioned that semi-final. Can you tell us a few of the highs in the last 2 years, some of the good stories?
Yeah, that's probably one of them, and I think it's probably some of the little things that are real rewarding. Example, Kiana Joseph was a bowler, batted 10, 11, we gave her opportunity. And the first game of the World Cup, she did poor, real bad. She got a lot of stick, but then she pretty much got us to the semi-final in that other game. So highlights of individuals are real positive for me and the staff. But I think as a team, getting that World Cup semi-final was probably the biggest highlight and probably the biggest low light as well, because we got so close. Chanel Henry getting injured and not being able to bat. It was a real big problem, still having sleepless nights about it. We've got a lot of work to do to make sure we get more highlights in the future for our supporters.
Sure, yeah, there have been some lowlights. Disappointing last few months, certainly, from the qualifiers on, how does this series set up against the background of those letdowns? Yeah,
we haven't played great ODI cricket for about 3 or 4 years. That's why we're at the qualifiers, because we've played badly over a period of time, because it's a 3-year cycle. And we weren't in the top 6. So that was one area we really got to work on. Obviously, the last World Cup was a T20 World Cup. So our T20 cricket's been pretty good, but ODI cricket's been a bit of a challenge. And that was real disappointing, the qualifiers and not getting to that World Cup. And then England, we obviously had a lot of injuries with senior key players, but that's a chance to give some youngsters a go. We had, in the last game, we had 5 girls, 21 and under, against some of the best players in the world. And on a rainy day, cold day in Somerset, and so it was a different experience for those girls. So that's important. We had that experience, but after that tour, which was tough, becoming this tour, we're a bit more battle-hardened for that. And I think we had a good one-on-one meetings yesterday, and the girls learned a lot of lessons from that. So it's now putting what we learned in those tough series into what we're going to do in this series now and in the future. Because obviously, when you lose, you learn more lessons than when you win. So it's about growing and using that experience. So that's the challenge now for this series and beyond.
Let's talk about the bright sparks. Hayley Matthews. I mean, what a player. Second best all-rounder in ODIs, best all-rounder in the world in T20s. She's been such a wonder to watch from the outside. Can you tell us a bit about what it's been like to coach her?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. And we've got a great relationship, even though she supports Arsenal and I'm Man City, we have a lot of stick about football, but we're going really well. We've got the same vision for the team and how we want to do things. And just her as a player leading on the front, and just shows everyone what can be achieved and what you need to do to be the world's best. So she's a great role model for our players and other girls in the Caribbean getting into cricket. But just I think her strength is her her competitiveness and just wanting to win no matter what. And I want to be the player to win. I want to get player of the match every time I play. So everyone says it's, you know, she carries the team a lot, but that's how she wants it. and that's what champion's about, I guess. And that's why she's an absolute champion on and off the field. And yeah, her captaincy, she's grown into that role really well.
Well, you do have a lot of youngsters in the side. You mentioned 5 of them. You've got, I'll say Claxon, Glasgow, Munasar, Grimmond. They're all youngsters.
James.
And Zeta James.
Yeah, and and also Kiana Joseph's 24, Ghaznavi's 24, Mandy's 24. So we're all around 25 and under. We've got a big group of players. But, they're coming out of a system that doesn't really teach them a lot about being an international cricketer or get them ready to be international cricketers. So that's the challenge for us, and that's for them. Claxon was great in England, and I talked about, have you ever bowled, every time you bowl a bad ball, what happens? She goes, I hit for 4. I said, what happens in regional cricket? Then no, I can bowl bad balls, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So she's, I just missed my sport by that much, it was gone. So that's what playing against, the Nat Skipper Brunts of the world is all about, and what they've got to learn and learn fast, and that's what we try to introduce to training, etc. But players have to go through that learning experience themselves and discover it for themselves as well.
Shane, you're in the hot seat. We've got a series here now. You're not in the World Cup, so in some ways that pressure is released. We discussed that off air. What are your expectations? What do you want to deliver for this white ball series against South Africa?
Yeah, well, we haven't had we've had one home series in 2 years, so it's great to be home. And we want to show the public that, sometimes we've had poor performances, but we're better than that, and we're learning, getting better every day. So South Africa's probably been the most consistent team in World Cups over the last few years. They've been in most finals, but we've got a chance to go against one of the best teams in the world, against some of the best players, and that's what you want to do. You want to test yourself against the best. So we have no expectations. It's about just us getting better every day and going out and playing some hard cricket and fighting every ball. We talked about that in England. Just got to compete every ball. Because once you're out there, it doesn't matter if you're from a good system or a bad system, whatever. It's you versus them. It's me versus you, and that's what we've got to get in that contest and fight hard every ball. Compete for long periods of time, not just an hour here, an hour there. We've got to be sticking at it for the whole, 6 to 7 hours of a long day of an ODI. And then with the T20s coming around, we want to play some good cricket, put on a show for our spectators.
Shane, thank you very much for spending some time with me. Best of luck in the series.
All right, thanks, It's good to see you, mate.